On July 19th, 2026, in front of 80,000 people in New Jersey and over a billion more watching at home, a man is going to lift a golden trophy over his head. It is the most coveted object in all of sports. And it's a lie. Look closely at that gold. Because the trophy he's holding is not the real one. It never is. The champions have never taken the real World Cup home. Not once. And the original, the very first World Cup trophy ever made, doesn't exist anymore. Not in a museum, not in a vault, nowhere. It was stolen, then it was stolen again, and then it vanished off the face of the earth. Hidden in a shoebox from the Nazis, snatched in broad daylight, and saved this actually happened by a stray dog. This is the story of the trophy that vanished. To understand how you lose something this valuable, you have to go back to 1930. A French sculptor named Abel Lafleur is handed a job. Design a prize for the very first World Cup. He carves a small winged goddess, Nike, the goddess of victory, holding a cup above her head. Now everybody calls it solid gold. It isn't. It never was. It's sterling silver with a thin layer of gold on top, standing on a base of blue stone, just 35 centimeters tall, light enough to tuck under one arm. Remember that part. And the man running FIFA, Jules Rimet, writes one rule into the books. One rule that causes all the chaos that follows. The first country to win the World Cup 3 times gets to keep the trophy forever. Hold on to that one too. Then the world goes to war. The next 2 World Cups are simply cancelled. For 12 years, nobody plays. And the trophy? The reigning champions are Italy, and it's sitting in a bank vault in Rome, right in the path of the most destructive war in human history. Here's the problem. All across Europe, armies are stripping the continent bare. Gold, paintings, anything worth anything. A little statue literally named Victory would not have lasted a week, so one man does something quietly heroic. His name is Ottorino Barassi, an Italian football official. He walks into that bank and he takes the trophy out himself. No guards, no paperwork, just a man and a secret. He brings it home, he wraps it in cloth, and he hides it inside a shoebox under his bed. The most valuable object in football, spending the war under a mattress. And there it stays. Through the bombings, through the occupation, through years of silence. While Europe tears itself apart, a golden goddess hides in a shoebox, a few feet off the floor. And it works. The trophy survives the deadliest war in history without a scratch. When peace finally comes, Barassi hands it back. It had survived the worst of humanity. It would not survive peacetime. Fast forward to March 1966. England is hosting the World Cup that summer and the whole country is buzzing. So they put the trophy on display for the public, behind glass, with guards, but not in a stadium, at a stamp collecting exhibition. The greatest prize in football sitting in a glass case next to a bunch of rare postage stamps. There are guards, just not enough of them, and not all of the time. And on one quiet Sunday afternoon, for a few minutes, nobody is watching the trophy at all. That is all it takes. Someone forces a back door, walks straight up to the case, and lifts it. No alarm, no struggle, no witnesses. The World Cup is just gone. The country that invented football has lost the World Cup before the tournament has even started. The newspapers tear them apart. It is a national humiliation in front of the whole world. Then a package arrives. Inside is a piece of the trophy itself, sent as proof, and a demand, £150,000, a staggering fortune in 1966. Pay up, they say, or we melt it down. The police set a trap, and they arrest a man named Edward Betchley. But Betchley swears he is only the middleman, working for a shadowy figure he will only call the Pole. And the real thief never caught. Scotland Yard has nothing. The most famous object in football has disappeared somewhere into the city of London, and the tournament is now just days away. And then 7 days after the theft, a man in South London steps outside to walk his dog. An ordinary man, and an ordinary, slightly restless little black and white dog named Pickles. They reach the garden gate and Pickles stops dead. He starts pulling toward the hedge, nose down, locked onto something under the leaves. A package wrapped in newspaper, tied up with string. The man David Corbett tears the paper open, and there she is, the winged goddess. He knows it instantly from the names of the past champions engraved around the base. A stray dog's nose just did what all of Scotland Yard could not. Overnight, Pickles becomes a national hero. He gets invited to the winner's banquet. He gets a medal. A dog. Found the World Cup. That summer, England wins it for real, their first and only World Cup. And Corbett, he collects reward money worth more than his house. That dog turned out to be worth small fortune. The Football Association is so shaken by the whole thing that they quietly make a fake replica for public events, terrified of ever losing the real one again. But the real danger is still years away, and an ocean away. As for Pickles, his story ends quietly. About a year later, chasing a cat, his lead catches on a branch, and he dies in an accident. His collar still sits in a football museum to this day. But the trophy isn't done yet. Remember Rimet's rule? Win 3 times, keep it forever. In 1970, Brazil wins their 3rd World Cup, and at last the goddess is theirs to keep. For good, they take her home to Rio and lock her in a cabinet behind bulletproof glass. After everything, she has survived a world war, a kidnapping. She is finally permanently safe. Or so they think. Pickles saved her once. Nothing is going to save her twice. December 1983. These thieves are smarter. The front of the case is bulletproof glass, so they don't even touch the front. They go around the back. They take a crowbar to the wooden back of the cabinet and they lift her straight out. And this time, there is no dog, no hedge, no package waiting in the morning. The original World Cup trophy is never seen again. The thing most people believe? That they melted her down. That they turned a priceless piece of history into anonymous bars of gold and sold her off, piece by piece, gone, erased. But even that is a mystery, because remember, she was mostly silver. There was barely enough gold to bother melting. So some people think she was never destroyed at all, that somewhere out there she is still hidden, waiting. Either way, FIFA was left with nothing. So they commissioned a brand new trophy, new sculptor, new design, 2 figures holding up the earth, in solid gold this time. The one you see lifted today. And this time, they learned their lesson. This trophy can never be won permanently, ever. The champions lift the real gold for the cameras, and then they hand it right back and go home with a copy. So look again at that man in New Jersey, lifting the gold over his head. Every country on earth fought for years to get there. And what they are fighting for is a replacement. For a replacement. For a ghost. Here's the thing, the metal was never the point. It didn't matter that it was silver instead of gold. It didn't matter that the original is gone forever, because the prize was never the gold. It was the story the gold was carrying. A shoebox saved it. A dog found it. Greed destroyed it. And still the whole world chases the ghost. So when that captain lifts the trophy this summer, remember, he is holding a legend that simply refuses to die.